How close are we within this exogenous shock to an EM crisis as we have seen before across the 90s and across the 2000s?
We are very close. Emerging markets have been hit very hard by the initial phase of the crisis. We've seen massive outflow of capital from most emerging markets repatriating in the United States. The COVID epidemic is just picking up in emerging markets. As we know, it lasts for about 4 months, and the peak is for 2 months. And emerging markets are much less capable of absorb the health dimension of the crisis. They will be put under extreme strain, and we expect to see unprecedented decline in economic activity and possibly widespread financial damages.
Professor, you are a world authority in real estate. It's something maybe diffuse, it's out there, it's not something we really can touch. How is the leverage within the global real estate system? Are they exposed as other asset classes were exposed in 1998?
At the global level, leverage in the real estate is not as diffuse and deep as in the United States. Typically, in emerging market, real estate purchases take place on a cash basis. So from that perspective, leverage in the real estate is not necessarily the most important problem. However, research shows that impact in individual communities affected by pandemic can be extremely long-lasting. So certain segments of mega cities in emerging markets may be particularly damaged by the crisis, by the health dimension of the crisis itself.
Alessandro, can I talk a little bit about what is happening here in Europe? Italy finds itself in a very difficult situation. Its economy already sort of burdened with a huge amount of debt. It's likely to take on significantly more. What is your perception of the economic trajectory of Italy and whether or not its debt is sustainable?
Italy is in a particularly difficult situation because it was already experiencing difficulty to recover from the global financial crisis. Effectively, Italy never recovered from the global financial crisis, and growth was permanently hit by that shock. These new catastrophes will be extremely damaging for the economy, and help is desperately needed from the European community, ideally from the rest of the international community. There is a lot of talk about options for financial rescue through European mechanisms. I think it is the time to consider emergency help for international financial institutions and chiefly the International Monetary Fund, which helped other European economies during the financial crisis.